Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to be building a beautiful short raised garden bed. So if you're interested in seeing how this is done, stick around and I'll show you. Now before I get started, I wanted to let you guys know I've already built two other garden beds very similar to this. They were a lot deeper, two different designs. Instead of 2 feet deep, this one today is only going to be 1 foot deep. Now, if you're interested in learning more about those other ones, go check those videos out. I'll leave the link at the end of this video, or in that top right corner of this video, there's a link you can click on and go check out those videos as well. Now to get started, I'm going to be using 2x4 pressure treated lumber. It's really easy to build. I'm going to cut everything to length and I'll show you guys how I assembled this. I know this is pressure treated and there is a lot of concern around pressure treated and the chemicals in it. If you're worried about that, there are some other options, including cedar lumber. It is more pricey, may not last as long as pressure treated, but it definitely is a good viable option if you want to avoid pressure treated. Now, if you have thoughts around that, let me know down in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you guys. Now, I have done a fair amount of research on this, and the newer pressure treated lumber is supposed to be a lot safer. The chemicals that they use are not nearly as harmful as they used to be. And with that, I have also tried to eliminate the contact of the pressure treated lumber to the soil directly. That way it has less of a chance to transfer any chemicals it may have in it into my soil. So with that, I'm pretty comfortable with using this, but that's really just going to come down to preferences. Now I've got all the pieces cut, ready to assemble. The length of this garden bed is 8 feet long, the width is 2 feet, and the depth is only 1 foot. So I'm going to be screwing a 2x4 onto the top and bottom and have very short vertical pieces to tie it all together. Now I'm going to be screwing all of this together with 3-inch long screws, and I'm just going to simply toenail those from the vertical 2x4s into those horizontal ones. Now this will take a good amount of time toenailing all those screws in. If you do have a pocket hole jig, you can easily use that for this and just hide the screws in the back. It'll look really nice, but that may be fancier than you want to go. Toenailing works just fine, so that's what I ended up doing. Now there's a few perks in building both the 1 foot tall garden bed as well as the 2 foot. For the 1 foot, you obviously have half as much material you need to fill the garden bed up with, so a lot less soil, a lot less money that you're spending on all of that. And it's also really nice for taller plants like our tomato plants, which will get almost to 6 feet tall. So if you plant those in a 2 foot tall garden bed, it's going to be close to 8 feet, which is way out of height range for you to reach and not as easy to work with. So with this 1 foot tall garden bed, we're probably going to plant a lot of those taller plants, the tomatoes in there, and it will be really good for that. Now with the 2 foot tall, we've noticed it has been really great to weed, to work in. You don't have to bend over nearly as much. I have noticed that there's a lot less weeds. I think the seeds, when you're mowing and blowing through the air, just can't quite get up there as easily as when it's closer to the ground, which has been great. Also, our neighbor dogs can't dig up our garden anymore in that 2 foot tall garden bed. They're not digging up the plants and peeing on them constantly, which is great. We absolutely love that, obviously, but we may still have some of those issues with the 1 foot tall garden bed. So it really just depends on what you want. The 2 foot tall isn't necessary, but it is nice at the same time. I've got all the frames assembled. Next, I just need to cut the metal roofing to fit those frames. Next, I'm going to take metal roofing screws and screw those to the frame, putting about 4 screws in each panel. I have all the frames covered with roofing. Now I need to move on to assembling the box, screwing the corners together. And to do this, I'm going to be using the same exterior 3-inch long screws and putting a couple screws through the side, tying all the 4 sides together. I'm going to go ahead and add a frame around the top of the garden bed. This is just a regular deck board. I'll screw that down. This ties the corners together really well and also adds a lot of strength to the garden bed to keep the dirt from pushing and bowing out the sides. Now that's not really as big of an issue with this. It's only a foot deep. There's not a ton of weight of dirt pushing it out, and this is only 8 feet long. Now, if you're going to be building one of these a lot larger, maybe deeper or longer, you may want to think about adding in some supports, tying the 2 long sides together, keeping them from bowing outwards from the weight of the dirt. Now, I've taken this box and I've leveled it on the ground. I've put a few bricks every foot or so to keep it up off of the ground as well, keep it from soaking up all that moisture and rotting out even quicker. So now all we need to do is add the soil in here. I'm going to start out with 9 bags of garden soil and then add some more stuff after that. Next, I'm going to add 3 bags of cow manure on top of this, and then I'll give it a good mix to make sure it's mixed thoroughly through that top layer of soil. I'm also going to be adding some sawdust in here. This works really well to absorb moisture and hold moisture in there and make sure that the soil stays nice and loose. This will also decompose over time and help feed the garden as well when it does so. Next, I'm going to add in some peat moss. This does pretty much the same thing as the sawdust. It'll keep it nice and light and fluffy and help absorb some of that moisture and retain it in here as well. Alright guys, that just about finishes up this video for today. Hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button down below and also hit that subscribe button if you have not already. I would also love to know what you guys think about this project, so leave a comment down below and I'll go check that out. I want to give a big shout out and a thank you to all of my supporters on Patreon. You guys are amazing. Your support is helping me create more of these videos and to continue doing it. So I really want to thank you for that. Now, if you guys want to go above and beyond, if you are wanting to support the channel, go check out my Patreon page. I'll leave the link right in the description of this video and you can go do that. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one.